Caroline Harbour was born in 1827. She is Genevieve and Dimitri Harbour's second child. Ever since she was a girl, she had a gift. She could see what others couldn't. There were always strange things happening around the house. It made Genevieve incredibly nervous. She was afraid of Coraline's gift, so she would lock her in the attic room. Coraline would scream and cry until her father came home. Dimitri couldn't believe Genevieve had done such a thing. Genevieve refused to stop until the strange activity came to an end, so he made Coraline promise not to talk to any more spirits. While Coraline may not have spoke to them, they were still there. She ignored them until they no longer made their presence known. She spent more time with her big sister Charlotte. The two of them were best friends. Coraline was devastated when her sister went missing. She waited every night for her to come back. Dimitri reassured her that he would bring Charlotte back. He spent a lot of time searching for her. He had asked everyone in town if they had seen her, and took all the help he could get. He blamed Genevieve for the way she treated the children. It was her fault Charlotte was gone. Dimitri spent more and more time looking for his daughter. No matter how exhausted he was, he refused to give up. The days turned into years. Coraline was still at home with her mother. They didn't speak much, they were afraid of each other. The night her sister went missing, Coraline had a bad feeling about dinner. She told Charlotte before they sat down to eat. Then she left. Coraline blamed herself for her sister's disappearance for years. Now that she was older, she was more afraid of what her mother was capable of. Staying out of her way kept her from getting in trouble. With all the time to herself, she was reconnected with the ghosts around her. Genevieve noticed her strange behavior. Paranoid, Genevieve decided to handle it before it got worse. She slapped her and locked her into the attic. Coraline cried and cried. This time, her father wasn't around to save her. Locking her away made things worse around the house. There was never a moment of peace. So Genevieve let Coraline out. After she left, the lights shut off and the door locked behind her. There, Genevieve was tortured by the spirits. It was then that Dimitri came home. He was ashamed that he still hadn't found Charlotte. He spent years feeling guilty for not being there for his daughter. He passed away of a broken heart in 1845. Genevieve was still locked in the attic. That same year, she also died from mysterious causes. Coraline was left alone, but not completely. One night, she awoke from her sleep to someone in her room. It was Charlotte. Coraline was so happy to see her again. Charlotte told Coraline what happened to her. After she ran away, she stayed in the woods to keep out of the rain. But the rain never stopped, and she couldn't remember the way she came. She was lost, alone and afraid. Too scared to go home, she ate whatever looked edible to survive. After a few days, she fell incredibly ill. She never got to find help. The next day, Coraline went to the place her sister told her about and found her. After 12 years, the mystery was solved. Coraline had passed away at 10 years old in 1835. Everyone attended her funeral. The neighborhood was devastated. Coraline was sad that her sister suffered so much, but she was relieved she got to bury her. After that night, she never saw her sister again. She knew that Charlotte was at peace, and that put her at peace. In 1850, she met a man named Herbert. The two of them had fallen in love with each other. They did everything together. But after a day in the rain, tragedy struck. Herbert was gone. Coraline was left alone once again. Shortly after his death, she found out she was pregnant. In 1851, she gave birth to twins, Lucy and Mabel. Coraline wasn't at all ready for motherhood, but she would try to be a better mother than hers.